Ever wish you could just download the mental hard drive of, say, a billionaire or a pro athlete at the top of their game? I'm talking about the habits, the routines, the mindsets that get them results. Well, in a way, that's exactly what I tried to do with Tools of Titans. For years on the Tim Ferriss show, I've been picking the brains of world-class performers from all walks of life. We're talking investors, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, you name it. And over time, I started to notice patterns, these recurring threads of wisdom that kept popping up no matter who was in the hot seat. So I wrote Tools of Titans to distill those lessons into actionable tactics that anyone, and I mean anyone, can use to upgrade their life. Consider it your cheat sheet for mastering your health, wealth, and wisdom, all by borrowing from the best. Let me tell you something, success leaves clues. And one of the biggest clues you'll find is how someone attacks their morning. I'm talking about those first few hours after the alarm clock goes off. What I found interviewing hundreds of top performers is that most of them, and I mean the vast majority, don't just roll out of bed and straight to the coffee pot. They have a system. They might meditate, even if it's just for 5 minutes. They might journal, even if it's just a few bullet points about what they're grateful for. They might move their body, even if it's just a quick walk around the block. The point is, they win the morning. They create momentum and mental clarity before the rest of the world even wakes up. And that, my friends, is a serious competitive advantage. Here's the thing about productivity. It's not about cramming more into your day. It's about being ruthlessly efficient with the time you have. And that means getting really, really good at saying no. One of my favorite tools for this is the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. It states that roughly 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. So ask yourself, what's the 20% of my work that's actually moving the needle? What are the tasks that, if I nailed them, would make everything else easier or irrelevant? Once you identify that 20%, protect it like it's Fort Knox. Eliminate distractions, delegate what you can, and become laser-focused on those high-impact activities. Whenever I hit a wall, whether it's in business or life, I've learned that brute forcing my way through rarely works. Instead, I shift gears. I start asking better questions. One of my favorites is, what would this look like if it were easy? It seems deceptively simple, but it forces your brain to find workarounds and creative solutions that you might otherwise miss. Another one. If I had to achieve this goal in 1/10 the time, what would I do? This question cuts through the noise and forces you to prioritize the most impactful actions. Remember, your brain is a problem-solving machine, but you have to feed it the right questions to get the right answers. Chapter 4, action trumps perfection. You know what's paralyzing? Waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect amount of experience. Here's the truth. It doesn't exist. Every single guest I've interviewed who's achieved something remarkable has this in common. They started before they felt ready. They took action. Even if it was messy or imperfect, they learned by doing, iterating along the way. So my advice to you, don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. Start before you're ready. You'll figure it out as you go. Chapter 5. Conquer your fears, unlock your potential. We all have fears, it's part of being human, but here's the thing, fear can be a compass pointing you towards what you truly value and what you need to overcome to live a fulfilling life. One of the most powerful tools I've encountered for dealing with fear is something I call fear setting. It's simple but not easy. Write down your biggest fear, describe it in vivid detail. What's the worst case scenario? Then list everything you can do to prevent that scenario from happening. Finally, describe how you would recover if the worst did happen. By staring your fear in the face, you rob it of its power. And that's when you can start taking bold action. Think of your energy like a bank account. You only have so much to spend each day. And just like money, you can invest it wisely or squander it. Top performers understand this. They prioritize sleep, exercise, and nutrition, knowing that these are the foundations of sustained energy and focus. They also set boundaries with technology and information overload because mental fatigue is just as real as physical fatigue. Remember, it doesn't matter how brilliant your ideas are if you're too exhausted to execute them. Take care of your energy and you'll amplify your ability to do just about anything. If you want to achieve extraordinary things, you can't do it all alone. You need leverage. And there are three main types of leverage that I've seen used over and over again: people, code, and capital. People leverage is about building teams, delegating tasks, and collaborating with others who have complementary skills. Code leverage is about automating tasks and systems so you can scale your efforts without scaling your time. And capital leverage is about using money to free up your time, invest in growth, or create new opportunities. Figure out which levers you can pull in your own life and work, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. We live in a culture obsessed with overnight success stories, but the reality is, true wealth, whether it's financial, social, or personal, is built over time. It's about playing the long game. That means building genuine relationships, nurturing your network, and staying consistent with your efforts, even when you don't see immediate results. Remember, the greatest rewards often come from compounding small, consistent actions taken over a long period of time. So be patient, stay focused, and trust the process. Look, Tools of Titans isn't meant to be a book you read once and put on a shelf. It's a toolkit, it's a collection of mental models, tactics, and strategies that you can dip into whenever you need a boost, a new perspective, or a reminder that you're not alone in the pursuit of a better life. The truth is, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to learn from the people who are already rolling. So, what resonated with you most? What are you going to put into action today? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to tag a friend who might need to hear this.